detachment, and non-judgment. These are words you've probably heard before, but what do they really mean? How can they change the way you experience your life? And more importantly, what's keeping you stuck? Often, the block isn't your external situation. It's not the job, the relationship, or the circumstance. It's the way you relate to your emotions about those things. Think about it. How often do you stop to fully experience what you're feeling? Or do you do what most of us have been taught? Shove it into a box, hide it away, and move on. But here's the truth. Emotions don't go away when you ignore them. They linger, waiting to be processed, waiting to complete their natural cycle. And until you give them the space to do so, they'll hold you in place like an anchor, preventing you from moving forward and truly progressing toward your full potential. Take a moment now. Pause. Take a breath. What are you feeling in this moment? Is there a tightness in your chest? A heaviness in your shoulders? Perhaps a subtle unease you can't quite name? Whatever it is, allow it to be there without judgment. Let yourself notice it. Instead of resisting and avoiding your emotions, what if you approach them differently? What if you became curious about them? What if you greeted them with gentle love and affection, like a caring old friend who stopped by unannounced? Or what if you simply observed them neutrally, without attaching meaning to them? This compassionate self-awareness is powerful. It creates a context where you're not slamming on the brakes of your emotional process. Instead, you're opening the door for your internal state to move, to flow, and to transform naturally. But here's something important to understand. Simply observing your emotions doesn't guarantee a sense of well-being. It's not the observation itself that changes things. It's how you observe. And this is where non-judging comes in. Non-judging is the practice of allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling, whether it makes sense to you or not, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, whether it aligns with what you think you should be feeling. This isn't easy. Society teaches us to judge our feelings constantly. We categorize them. Happy is good, sad is bad, calm is right, anger is wrong. But the truth is, feelings are just feelings. They're neither good nor bad. They simply are. Non-judging means stepping away from those labels and instead practicing neutral observation. It's not about controlling what you feel. It's not about trying to change it or make it go away. It's about creating a space where you can simply be with your emotions. Here's something to reflect on. It's not what you feel that matters. What matters is how you feel about what you feel. Are you at war with your emotions? Or are you willing to let them exist without resistance? When you stop judging your emotions, you create a profound shift. You move from resistance to acceptance, from tension to ease. And in that space, your emotions are free to complete their cycle. They no longer need to demand your attention, because you've given them what they needed all along, your presence. The most wellness-promoting state isn't happiness. It's not joy or excitement or even peace. It's neutrality. Think about that for a moment. Neutrality. A state where you're not categorizing your experience as good or bad, right or wrong. A state where you're simply allowing what is to be what it is. It's a place where you can observe without being swept away. It's a place where your feelings can rise and fall like waves, and you remain steady, anchored, unshaken. But let's talk about something crucial here. The difference between neutrality and detachment versus dissociation. Neutrality and detachment are about being fully present with what is, without resistance or clinging. They're about creating a safe, spacious container for your emotions, where they can flow freely without overwhelming you. Detachment doesn't mean disconnection. It means releasing the need to control or fix your feelings while remaining aware and compassionate toward them. Dissociation, on the other hand, is a survival mechanism. It's a way of shutting down when emotions or experiences feel too overwhelming to handle, while dissociation might feel like detachment on the surface. It's not the same. Dissociation involves disconnection, not just from emotions, but often from reality itself. It's a numbing, a shutting off, a stepping away from the present moment. The difference lies in awareness. Neutrality and detachment are grounded in mindfulness. They're active processes of observing, accepting, and allowing. Dissociation, by contrast, is passive. It's an unconscious reaction to avoid pain, leaving you disconnected not only from your emotions, but from your sense of self. When you practice neutrality, you're not running from your emotions or numbing them. You're welcoming them as part of your experience, while staying firmly rooted in the present moment. It's about presence, not absence, connection, not avoidance. So if you find yourself feeling numb or disconnected, take a gentle step back and ask yourself, am I observing my emotions, or am I avoiding them? Am I creating space for them, or am I shutting them out completely? So how do you practice this in your daily life? Start small. The next time you feel a strong emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, joy, or frustration, take a minute to pause. Notice it. Where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like? Does it have a texture, a weight, a temperature? Then remind yourself you don't have to fix it. You don't have to justify it or explain it. You don't even have to like it. Just let it be. Observe it without judgment. Let it exist without resistance. This isn't about detachment in the sense of apathy or disconnection. It's about detachment from the need to control, from the need to categorize, from the need to make everything fit into neat little boxes. When you stop judging your emotions, you free yourself. You create space for growth, healing, and transformation. And in that space, you discover a deeper truth. You are not your feelings. Remember that rather, you are the awareness behind them.